Yo, collect and connect. Blake and Chad.
Chad.
And Blake.
Collect
and connect.
Blake and Chad's collect and connect.
Which one?
Frank goes to Blake and Chad's. This is Blake and Chad's. This is collect and connect.
Comics and crypto and comics, collectors world.
How many Comic Cons and D-Cons have you been to in your career of getting stuff signed and some of your graded stuff?
I've been to probably about 10, just this year, probably about 50 Comic Cons in my life, probably. I got a Marvel sign. I've tweeted out about it. I'll send you guys a photo of it, but the sign is very special to me because it's signed by probably 28 artists, 30 artists now. And it all started with Stan Lee. Wow. And I mean, like awesome. Jim Lee signed it. Frank Miller.
That's a grail right there.
Yeah.
That's a cool one.
Yeah,
you better have bulletproof glass on that thing.
And that's something I want to hand down to my kids one day, you know, and I don't look at that something that I just getting as a collector that I just love because sure. It's really cool. So when a new name pops up, I'm like, all right, throw the sign in the back of the car. We're going on a road trip to LA or wherever there's a signing. It's hard to fly with that thing. You know, New York Comic Con is coming up, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to bring it out there. But
oh man,
LA is not a problem.
Yeah, that's right around the corner. You're in California, right?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we're planning, hopefully trying to make it out there for D-Con in November, our crew.
Dude,
you know,
I was there last year and it was awesome. That was the first time like everyone kind of met each other. It was the first time Alex and like Reese met each other. I mean, at the time, Reese had never met David Yu or Dan yet.
Wow.
That's
pretty crazy.
Because of the pandemic. It's wild. They all started this during the pandemic. So
wild.
Yeah, it was incredible, man. It was incredible meeting all of them. And you have certain expectations because you meet everybody and just you click and it's awesome. And then I honestly was kind of nervous. These people mean a lot to me, and I go there in person. It was exceeded all my expectations. You know, it was great. And Spencer just went to New York for the Bat Cows event.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
He met a lot of people in the community as well. He met Wendy and Randy Chavez, and
nice.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The Bat Cows are pretty nifty also. I mean, I got
those
two
are
of them.
Great. So, good for you. Me too, man. Good for you.
So I'm wear that.
I am very excited for the future of Bat Cows.
Yeah, it seems fun. They had that event, and then I think another couple of days they'll have their other next utility pop up every 52 days or something. So, hey man, NFTs are, like you said, bringing this community together, man. Like you said, you went to D-Con, met those people for the first time, and it's wild what I think Vivi's done for most people that I've met right now in this community. You know? Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. I met Chad. Chad's in Canada. I'm in Florida. You're in Cali. That's sickening to me. That's just
literally a triangle.
You know, you're on space. America. Yeah, man. The connection's real. You know, the connection's real. What Vivi's doing for a lot of people here. So you know, we want to talk about Vivi, but we do want to talk about you as well. You said you do got some collectibles, some physicals there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. Let's pop some of those out. Let's see what you got there, because we know Mr. Sean got some fire over there.
I have a lot of like pretty amazing Silver Age comics that I actually have in a safe that's not at my place, but I do have some cool stuff here that I like to share, some modern age stuff. Like this is one of my favorite Todd McFarlane covers. Let's see it. There we go. Yeah. So this is Incredible Hulk 340. This is a battle between Hulk and Wolverine. It's one of the most iconic Todd McFarlane covers, and it's also signed by Todd McFarlane. So if you look in the claws, you'll see the Hulk reflecting off of Wolverine's claws.
Yeah.
This is a very, very, very popular comic. It is so sick. One of my favorite covers of all time. And I really hope that it drops on Vivi because it would be amazing. Yeah. So this is one of my favorite comics.
When you go to a comic book store still, you know, when I was a kid, I went into the store and looked at the art. You know, I didn't really read it right away. So do you still do that if you go into a comic store? Like, what's your go-to thing when you go into a comic store?
It's different now, you know, because I look, for me, I'm a investor with a collector's mindset. Or a collector with an investor mindset, if you want to look at it like, so I collect things that I know that I love first and foremost, but I also know that have an ROI. There are definitely things that I've collected that I know, like, I just love it, right?
Sure.
There are definitely, but I'd
That's
say the
it,
majority
man.
of things that I do love, I always try to make sure that, oh, this is going to be a solid ROI, you know, in my opinion,
Yeah.
So
Good. Well, that's
yeah.
good still, because some of this stuff here, like when I met Ron English, I went full FOMO, not even thinking of return. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, bam, 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 bam,
See,
bam.
that's awesome. That's a
Yeah.
collector right there. You're a collector at
Yeah,
heart.
it's
You know,
fun
and
stuff,
I've definitely been there for sure. I got, definitely a lot of shit in there too, but
man.
not as cool as your Ron English stuff, because Ron English is amazing. Oh man, that's so
Oh
cool.
man.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it was
You got to meet
wild.
him.
He's
That's so
such
cool.
he's such a down to earth guy. Like
He seems
literally
like it.
he really wants to connect with the community just like us and meet the people that collect his art. He's Art Basel and doing events for work. We actually made a little group called the Light Cold Crypto Club for his NFTs, and we have about 10 of us in there, Chad. And we
There's
just
a few guys in that little chat there that talk about, for that we all kind of talk
yeah,
about
we all
like
bullshit. Yeah,
That's
we all got
awesome.
his NFT, and we actually have him in the group with us. So he pops in the group and just
Oh
yeah, it's pretty wild.
every
Man.
once
He
in a
comes
while.
in
Oh,
and
so cool.
yeah,
drops the
Man,
odd picture here there.
like
I
who'd
can't
have
even,
thought?
It's
Yeah,
definitely
who'd
cool.
thought?
I can imagine he has some incredible stories.
Oh,
I mean, being one of the godfathers of street art. I mean, the
yeah,
guy is just, I mean,
a legend.
I mean, he probably knows Banksy on a personal level, So like those guys, I would imagine, yeah, those guys are just,
Dude, like, yeah, when he talks about like David and their company, like he's full on board, he
yeah,
supports them. David and these guys been collectors their whole life, and they've been
yeah.
going to his shows and collecting his stuff, and they know him personally, like you said. And man,
Hanging out with them, right?
That's cool.
The
to
other
hang
day
out with
there,
him,
so.
let alone have him come into our chat groups is very humbling.
That's
You
so cool,
probably,
man.
like you said, you met some people, you talk to some people, and when that happens, you're like, man, this is very gravitating. Like, I can't believe this is
Yeah.
happening in ways, but you do your work, you get that for a
And,
reason.
and it's exciting too, right? You see someone like an incredibly popular and well-known indie artist like Ron English, and then you have people like Disney who's giving them all their IP, and it's like, how's this company not going to succeed? Like,
Yeah.
and they're doing all this without having the option of cashing out. Like, what?
That
That's
is,
insane.
yeah.
That's the best part about all that.
Mine-
It's like, this is, I mean, it's all going to come, but like,
Uh,
that's just wild that they're accomplishing this in such a short period of time. And people are overlooking that.
How do you like your wall? Have you been getting any sleep? That Mickey's making you sleep yet?
Wait, which one?
Mickey playing in the background.
Yeah,
Getting any
he's
sleep yet?
yeah. He moved out, so we're good.
Okay, good. Get him out of it.
So this next one is X-Men 266. I feel it's inevitable that I'll come to Vivi, but this is the first appearance of Gambit, who's one of my
love Gambit, yeah.
favorite Marvel characters of all time. It's signed by Jim Lee, who helped.
Nice.
He doesn't have an official credit, but he did help create the character's design.
Jim
so it's
Lee,
really exciting.
Gambit.
And also Chris Claremont signed it too. Yeah. So
Very cool.
Chris Claremont's one of the most famous writers in Marvel history.
Man, what is your roundabout stack? You know how many graded to signed comics you got? You know in your
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have way more unsigned than signed, but the signed are definitely up there. Like, it's interesting too, because there's a lot of people who do not like signed comic books. They just want clean covers. It's very important
Really?
to them. Oh yeah, for sure.
Which way,
yeah.
What do you prefer yourself? Would you rather have it signed by someone that you would like to have it signed, or have it clean?
Well, I mean, I enjoy the signature as long as it's properly placed, right?
Gotcha.
So that's really important too, because I've seen, oh man, this breaks my heart. I've seen Stan Lee sign a like 9.4 Fantastic 452, the first appearance of the Black Panther, that he signed over the Black Panther's face. I mean, that's like, that's worth tens of thousands of dollars, and he signed over his face. I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's tough. It's Stan Lee, right? So
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh man, yeah, that's a tough one right there.
That's brutal.
You should have just slid the book a little more when you're signing it, like I made it a real original.
Yeah. The artists are very particular though about where they sign. I mean, it's fun to hear them have conversations they ask, where do you want it signed? And, and
But then they'll
typically-
just go to their spot and just boom right there.
No, oh, but they typically, so like you just said, they typically have their own spots. I mean, even like if a comic book has 2 or 3 artists, they know like where the other artists usually sign, and they pick
Oh,
their own
wow.
spots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's
it's pretty
cool.
cool. It's like, oh yeah,
Oh,
this
that's
person
dope.
usually signs
No.
here. Yeah,
So what
so it's pretty
happened
awesome.
when you pulled out that NFT to Rob over there at the
Oh, Rob
Comic-Con?
Liefeld?
Yeah. Was he like?
Yeah, that
like,
was
what
cool.
the-
Yeah, that was cool. So Rob Liefeld, we talked about it with him, and what was really reassuring about that was, we talked about how he's getting commission sales off every comic book for Deadpool, or at least for New Mutants 98. I don't know about the other comics that are connected to Deadpool, but I would imagine so, because he's the creator of the character. Now, that being said, we met Jerry Conway, who created Killer Croc,
Okay.
and he didn't even know about it. So
Oh.
I don't know how Marvel's planning it out with their artists, but I mean, I'm still learning more about it. We also met Kenneth Rockerford, who's an awesome guy, and he created the statue for Superman on Vivi.
Oh, nice.
And
Yeah.
he didn't know about it either. Like, he even reached out to DC, and they didn't even respond.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Hmm.
I saw this as
mean-
an opportunity for DC and Marvel to kind of make amends for what they've done in the past to these artists. Because even
Yeah.
talking to Chris Claremont, you could feel the resentment he has towards Marvel. It's sad.
And you don't like to
imagine-
hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine creating all these characters. Chris Claremont has created some of the most iconic X-Men characters in history,
Yeah.
and he gets no residual. He gets no commission sales off those
That's tough.
creations. Like, imagine
it's
like
too bad.
We
your
do
creations are
hear
your
that.
babies.
We do hear that a few times.
Yeah.
Across.
These
Yeah.
these
It's
creations are your
resonated a few
babies.
times.
Yeah.
And, and that's too bad too, because I mean, the amount of time and energy that they're putting into it, right? You want to kind of see, not that it's, well, it's putting your time in anyone. It's worth something, like for anyone, no matter what you do.
100%. It's like he created these characters, and there is children, right? But he's lost custody to his children, and he has 0 visitation rights. That's
Dang.
kind of like what it feels. That's kind of like what
That's
it feels
cold
like.
blooded, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a pretty spot on analogy, and you just see
No,
that
that is,
resentment.
For
It's
sure.
tough. It's tough, but I really hope that this information comes to light, because hopefully Marvel and DC will make amends and figure out solutions here, because there's a lot of opportunity for everyone to succeed, and they got to make sure everyone succeeds. So there's a comic book called Something Is Killing the Children. Have you guys heard of this comic
Heard of
book?
it? Yeah.
I
Definitely.
haven't.
Really, it's a famous comic book. It's doing very well. There's a show. It's gonna be turned into a show on Netflix. Which is gonna be, the showrunner is Mike Flanagan, who did The Haunting of Hill House. Really, really awesome director, really talented guy. So this comic book is a spinoff. And when I heard that they were doing a spinoff of Something's Killing the Children, I'm like, okay, well, that's an easy buy-in, because the comic itself is very significant. It's only becoming more popular. And they're making a show with a very talented director. So it's a lot of
Interesting.
upside opportunity, right? So I bought 1,000 of these. So I bought 1,000 of these, and you're like, Sean, why would you buy 1,000 cover A's of the first issue of House of Slaughter, which is a spinoff of Something Is Killing the Children? Well, you get all the variants for free. And by variants, I mean, basically, here's an example.
So you got like
So-
6,000 covers.
So this is a 50 to 1 this is a 50 to 1 variant of House of Slaughter. And that means for
Huh.
every 50 comic books that are made of this
Yeah.
one is made of this one.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So
yeah.
is there a 1 in 1,000?
Yeah. So I got 20 of these for free.
Woo.
And
There you go.
And then there was a 1 to 20. So I got 50 of those for free. And then a 1 to 100, I got 10 of those for free. A 1 to 200, I got 5 of those for free. And this is
Nice.
the 500 to 1. So every 500 one was created. This is the 500 to 1 variant. Super.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And this one is and then the reason why I picked 1,000 is for this exact reason. I got this one for free. There's only 450 of them in existence. And this is the 1,000 to 1 variant of House of Slaughter. Yeah. It's a
Damn.
very
That's
very
awesome.
dark, violent show. I call it like a rated R Stranger Things. That's
Okay.
basically how I describe it.
Stranger
I-
Things
I-
is addicting.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
pretty cool, man. So
Yeah.
I also
super
saw
cool.
you sneak around and got some of those Grand Theft Auto sealed packages over there.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
What is this over here, man? You're getting these graded, huh? I saw something
Yeah.
on your show about this.
Yeah.
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 Chad just got a few
It's a
graded.
process. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
I
long
went through
time.
one of our guys through our chat group there. He presses books, and I picked a few up that he had said they grabbed, and I got a
Oh,
few
cool.
graded books now.
That's
Show him
awesome.
real
Three of-
quick.
Very cool.
Three of the one
Show
on the
Sean real quick. Show him what you got.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
three of those I found
Oh, cool.
locally and sent out to him, and then I got this one as well.
Oh, sick. That's such a cool cover.
So
That's awesome. Who did the
that's
cover
all
for
I have
that?
for graded so far. Sorry,
Who did the cover for that?
I want to say it's Simone Bianchi,
So who did the artwork?
Nick Klein,
Nick Klein. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
story by
awesome.
Donnie Cates.
Yeah. Donnie Cates. That guy's a rock star. He's really good.
Yeah,
this
so
is
that's
the-
that's what Vivi's done to us. There they are.
Oh, there we go.
So now these are graded
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Is that sealed, like still in the plastic itself first and then graded that way?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you see right here, this right here is the grade of the case, and this right here is the grade of the seal.
Huh.
A
Wow.
plus plus is the highest you can get.
Any water, nothing can get into that.
The grade of the 9.8, it can go 9.9 and 10.0, but that's crazy rare. Like, it's next to impossible to get.
I seen
Apparently.
that last video there, one of the videos there that you dropped about the grading on that. That's kind of sparked my interest. I just like, ooh,
Yeah,
this is pretty
it's
cool.
connected
I
to
know
the
something
CGC
like this
grading
is
scale.
coming up now, right? It's like, oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Guys, it clicked for me. It makes total sense. I mean, comic books, right? If you think about the comic books, and people who buy them, a lot of people buy them. They buy them as an investment, and a lot of them are sealed, in hard cases. And
Yeah,
how often do they actually read them? I'm very, very curious, right?
Yeah, that's what I
whereas
said. Like, yeah.
so they're investing in their favorite characters that they're seeing on TV and in film.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where the value is for a lot of people when buying comic books. Now, video games, I mean, I would say a strong majority of people grew up playing video games. And
Wow.
like for me, Grand Theft Auto, here's a perfect example of that, right? Like
You just blew my mind. I'm like, wait a second.
and here's the thing about comic books. You buy a comic book and you read it, you enjoy it. If you store it in a safe place, you probably will retain a very solid grade and still probably potentially valuable given the comic book itself. But video games, you buy it to open it to play it. So once you open it, that's it. There's no going back. Right.
Yeah.
So that's why sealed games, you have a chance to reinvest in your nostalgia. And a lot of these games, like N64 games, are selling for millions of dollars. Wow, it's crazy.
I saw that, man. I was mind blown. I'm like, this is crazy because it's the fact, we're in the generation of gamers converting to NFTs because I was a gamer, everyone probably gamed out, and now it's our way of life. Yeah.
And it's it's funny in that sense because I remember back when the demo for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater came out. Like I bought a copy for that. I have a sealed copy. I have no clue where, but I got one somewhere. And I bought it just because I was like, I'm just gonna keep this because you never know in the future.
Dude, you never know, man.
It though is the thing. I have no clue where it is. Well, it's at my parents' house. I just don't know where, and I know I've seen it over the years. It's just this is why I bought it too, though. I never thought something like this, but it's like, oh, you never know.
I would not be surprised if that's worth something. I would go on eBay and find out.
Yeah,
but I would not because Tony Hawk is definitely a valuable game.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's high grade, especially the
And
original.
it's original demo. So I was like, that kind of made sense. And I think it's like, on sale for $5-10. It had already been out for how long? I was like, why not?
That's incredible. That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah,
keep
man.
that tight, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like a good example. So I posted this online, and there's a very rare first print, which I'm in the top left corner right here. There's a metallic seal that goes over the game. And for the Grand Theft Auto games, they had that. And a lot of games actually, I think, had that for PS2 specifically. So those are the first games that were distributed out to the public, and people are paying a ridiculous premium for those specific games. So like if this had that, it'd probably worth about 5 to 10x what it's worth now. And
I remember ripping lots of those.
Yeah. And it's funny because I posted it, and a buddy of mine commented on my Facebook, and he said, "Hey, I have a sealed San Andreas game I bought for $5 at a garage sale. It's probably not worth anything though. It's San Andreas. It's not the original Game of Theft Auto 3. And I said, well, is there a metallic seal in the top right corner? And he commented on my Facebook and he said, yeah, there is. I'm like, dude, how's the condition? He's like, it's great. I said, I sent him a link to Heritage Auction, a 9.8 recently sold for 10 grand of San Andreas. And I was like, dude,
Now I'm
keep
gonna
that
be
tight.
stopping at every damn garage sale.
Like,
It makes sense, guys. It totally clicks for me. And I'm going to take it a step further and say VHS tapes.
Oh man.
so I've been hearing that about it. So they're being graded
Oh.
as well sealed,
Yes.
right? Like,
Wow.
Mhm. Yeah.
Antiquing these things into grading them. Let's go.
We're going to do a video on those soon too. And I'm very excited for that
Interesting, man.
market. Yeah.
I want to
makes
say
sense.
I heard on the radio today driving home, I think that didn't I want to say an original copy of Back to the Future that was owned by Biff Tannen
Mhm.
sold.
So-
Is that what it was or something? I think
Yeah.
that just sold recently for like 70,000 or so. I don't know.
Yep.
It's a
My
little bit.
goodness.
Yep. $70,000.
What about
But there are a lot of other really big sales too. I mean, another Back to the Future tape sold for 20,000, and then like Karate Kid sold for 20,000.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like 6,000 or 7,000. But I will say, be very careful because, like I just showed you with the first print and second print, third print,
Mm.
it's an even bigger deal for VHS tapes.
Yeah.
So you gotta be
Makes
careful
sense.
on what you're investing in. You gotta do your research because you could buy something that's not worth as much as you think it is.